Hi, I'm Sheila L. Haidt, world-class astrologer, tarot master, spellcaster, medium, and all-around magical being. And I'm here today to talk to you about this week's astrology. And it is quite a week. It's a very intense week, a very busy week, and it's the follow-on from the eclipse we had last Sunday, and we're going to be moving into the next eclipse 2 weeks later. So the theme this week is Mercury. Mercury is the planet that many people think of it as the planet of communication. It is that. I think just as importantly, if not more, it's the planet of how we gather and process information. Everybody gathers and processes information in their own way. And this week, everything that happens points back to Mercury. So on Wednesday, we've got the planet Mercury and an oppositional aspect to the planet Saturn. Saturn and Mercury are actually on the same side, although they don't always appear to be. Mercury is very speedy and Saturn likes to take its time, but they both want to communicate something thoroughly. So Mercury in opposition to Saturn gives us an opportunity for making and initiating solid plans and for avoiding, which is very important, avoiding worrying and pessimistic behavior and thoughts. So Saturn can sometimes bring us down. We need to be careful about that. But Saturn, if we're careful and we use it well, can give us the structure and the foundation for building what we want from those fabulous plans that we just initiated. Thursday, Mercury enters the sign Libra. It leaves its own sign of Virgo and enters the sign of Libra. Libra is the sign of balance. So the ideas of harmony, compromise, and indecisiveness are very much around you now. So it's not that you're thinking about being indecisive, it's you sort of naturally fall into it. Pay attention, and if you find yourself falling into it, step aside, step out of it. But harmony and compromise are foremost in your thoughts and in your feelings. Make sure that you don't compromise too much. Peace at any price is never a good thing. So balance and being deliberate are important to you during this time. So how you feel, whether or not you are actually taking a step, taking a stand, all of that's important. We also have Mercury will be opposite Neptune. It will be trine Uranus, and it will be trine Pluto. Well, what does all of that mean? Mercury, facts. Neptune, feelings. Sort of foggy feelings. So they're opposite. Neptune is going to want Mercury to fall into its murky depths. Mercury is going to want Neptune to make sense. Well, Mercury knows how to make sense in its own way, and so does Neptune, but not necessarily the same way. So what you need to do is be very careful about what you think and what you come to believe. And you need to check all sources 2-3 times because Neptune, deception. Mercury, trine, Uranus. What does trine mean? Trine is a harmonious, beneficial aspect, operates on its own. It's marvelous. You kind of like it's a get out of jail free aspect. Not a whole lot you have to do. You just got a free pass. So Uranus is the planet of genius. It's the planet of divine insight. And when you've got Mercury, good old communication and gathering and processing information connected to divine insight, you have some brilliant flashes of understanding, revelations. This is a good thing. Then you've got Mercury trine Pluto. Mercury, anytime Mercury has got anything to do with Pluto, Pluto knows everything, and it's in the depths of everything. So you've got an ability to go in and pull out information from the past, information from past lives, you've got an ability to pull out the truth from whatever the situation is, and to literally transform everything around you. So keep that in mind. Imagination, intuition, and keen insight are very strong right now. So pay attention to everything, especially the new ideas that crop up for you. Write them down. You may not use them right away, but if you write them down and you go back to them later, you'll find that you've got real gold nuggets there. On Friday, the planet Venus leaves the sign Leo and enters the sign Virgo. So no matter how you feel about someone or something, you'll benefit most from dealing with your emotions by keeping these words in mind: discernment, practicality, function. Make great choices. Make sure those choices can do something solid, and make sure that those choices that can do something solid, something that works to our benefit. So please avoid being overly critical, though, because that comes along with Venus and Virgo. Perfection is a matter of perspective, not an immovable state of being, meaning in the moment, find the perfection in the moment. Don't decide for this particular moment, this particular thing, it needs to be this way. Find the perfection in the moment. You will flow well with what's going on, and good and bounty comes to you, the flow of good and bounty, because Venus rules bounty. Saturday, Venus square Uranus and the Sun is opposition Saturn, meaning Venus, relationships, women, value, especially self-value, money, balance, will be making an abrasive aspect to the planet Uranus, which means anything can happen. Anytime Uranus is involved, anything can happen. So this is not a good time to make the decision this is the love of my life. It is not. It won't last that long. Let's leave it alone. This is not a good time to make the decision to buy anything really big or important, because there will be too many changes, and you'll wind up, for the most part, I think you can wind up in regret. The Sun opposition Saturn, this is a time when you have to ask yourself, am I being adamant or am I being stubborn? If you're being adamant, you're really saying, no, this is important. I insist that we look at it this way or it be this way. If you're being stubborn, you're not giving yourself room to take any other information in, and you're not considering another perspective. And I have a feeling you're going to wind up in trouble if you're being stubborn. Sunday's big. We've been waiting for Sunday. Sunday, the new moon in Virgo and a solar eclipse. So we had the lunar eclipse 2 weeks before this coming Sunday. Now we have the solar eclipse. So it's still eclipse season, and life-changing events are continuing to occur. The new moon and the solar eclipse will be in the last degree of the sign Virgo, making this the era's karmic, individual, and collective end. We have come to the end of an era for ourselves as individuals and as a society, meaning that the old ways no longer work. Well, this requires change. We as a species hate change, but that's not stopping it. Change continues. Get with the program. Find out how you can go along. Find out how you can go along with the change in as comfortable a way as possible. When I say as comfortable a way, I don't mean it's only got to be comfortable. I mean, find the comfort in the discomfort and keep moving. Remember that when one door closes, another door opens. And be standing there at that doorway for that opportunity that's going to occur when the door closes and opens. Since Virgo is the sign of the harvest, be aware that we are gathering during this time the results of our year's work And we are gathering that to determine the efforts and the value of the efforts we made all year. This is an excellent time because we're going to go into, literally, we're going to go into holiday season soon. And the working year is in that way. The working year is ending. Doesn't mean that we don't have things to do still for the rest of the year, but it means the building part of the year is ended, and we need to take a look and see what we've built and its value. So again, change is not always easy, but we're going to also experience something called a grand trine. That is a phenomenally blessed and lucky aspect. And it will be at the same time of the eclipse and the new moon. So it brings with it a sense of ease and a sense of blessings and a sense of bounty. This is a good thing. It'll keep you remembering that there is a higher plan, and it'll also keep you remembering that we are being guided towards something else, towards something that will give us really what we as souls want. So please surrender your resistance and go with it. It's the best thing all around. There's also a Saturn element in this. So there might be a tendency to be too hard on yourself. Please don't be hard on yourself. This is a tender time for all of us. It'd be a good time for you to get a massage, to eat ice cream, and to eat chocolate. Treat yourself well, treat yourself kindly. So this new moon eclipse also has close aspects to the planets Uranus, unpredictability, genius, divine insight, Pluto, transformation, great depth, truth, and healing, and Mercury, of course, how we gather and process information. So all of these things will be happening, and it's going to what it will be emphasized are revolutionary new ideas. All kinds of secrets are going to be revealed. Keep your eyes open for these secrets. The major changes and realizations that are coming will reveal themselves during the next 6 months. This eclipse is so powerful that its effect is a 6-month effect. So please keep a journal of your thoughts, your ideas, your realizations, your emotions. That journal is gold. As you begin to notice a new way of the new way of you being and the new paradigm for the world, as you begin to notice how the shift is taking place, you will have great snippets, great gold, great observations and realizations written down, and you can act on those. And you can use those great realizations to make the next foundation and structure for the rest of your life, to make that profitable, bountiful, and something that keeps you comfortable and, I'd say, happy. So on that note, I will say goodbye for now and be well. Oh, there's one more thing. Almost forgot it. New moons require what? Moon water. So 3 days before, get yourself some water in a vessel, a cup, a jar, a pitcher, and cover it. You don't want the critters crawling in it. And put it where it gets the rays of the moon. It doesn't have to be outside. It doesn't even have to be in a window. The rays can come through the walls. Just put it where it'll get the rays of the moon and leave it there. So 3 days before, then you get to the actual new moon, and then the release 3 days later. After that, drink it. Use some of it for cooking. Pets love it. Plants love it. So, and it's also very energizing, and it'll bring you all of that energy of this eclipse and of the new moon, and it'll help strengthen many parts of you, certainly the moon ruling emotions on the emotional level as well. So now on that note, I say bye.